Hello everyone. Japan has a one-of-a-kind vehicle that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Here it is. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary bus, doesn't it? So what makes this vehicle so unique? Well, this bus can actually run on railroad tracks. This is the world's only DMV, dual-mode vehicle, a remarkable piece of engineering. Today, we'll take a ride on this special vehicle, and I'll explain what it feels like to ride in it and the story behind its development. The DMV service operates in Kaiyo Town, located 160 kilometers southwest of Osaka, at the southern tip of Tokushima Prefecture in Shikoku. Thanks to its strategic location, the town has prospered through maritime trade and fishing since ancient times. During the medieval period, it was known for exporting timber to Kyoto. The DMV connects Kaiyo Town by rail to the neighboring Toyo Town in Kochi Prefecture and continues its service by road all the way to Muroto City. We departed from Tokushima Station, the prefectural capital, on the 5:31 a.m. train. The reason for such an early departure is that there are only 8 trains per day to Kaiyo Town. If we miss this train, we'll have to wait 4 hours for the next one. To reach Kainan Town, we'll stay on the JR Shikoku Mugi line from its starting point to the final station. After about an hour of travel, you can see the ocean on the left side. If you're planning to take this train, I recommend getting a seat on the left. After 2.5 hours from Tokushima Station, we arrived at Awakainan Station, the final stop. This is where you transfer to the DMV. The DMV is now entering from the road. It's about to transition onto the railway tracks. At the mode interchange point, the driver begins the transformation process. As unique local festival music plays, the bus starts its transformation. Railway wheels emerge from the front, gradually lifting the front of the vehicle as the road tires rise off the ground. Though not visible on camera, wheels are also extending from the rear. When the transformation completes, an emotionless voice announces, "Finish." Somehow, this abrupt English announcement has become a signature feature of this vehicle. On the railway, the vehicle runs on front railway wheels and rear tires combined with railway wheels. Just like in bus mode, only the rear tires provide propulsion. The front and rear railway wheels aren't connected to the engine. After completing the transformation to railway mode, the driver steps out for inspection. We're told they carefully check the wheel's position because incorrect placement on the tracks could cause derailment. Including the mode change and inspection, it takes about 1 minute to get ready for rail travel. The vehicle slowly begins to accelerate. In this configuration, the steering wheel is locked and the driver can only operate the accelerator and brake. As for the ride comfort, you'll notice more swaying compared to driving on regular roads. The front of the train is elevated, so you'll feel like you're constantly going uphill. Other than that, the ride feels just like being on a regular train. I got off at the neighboring Kaifu station. From the outside, it looks like an accident scene where a bus driver mistakenly drove onto the railway tracks. What a curious sight. That mysterious tunnel you see ahead was originally just a regular tunnel through the mountain. However, as the surrounding area was developed and carved away, only the tunnel section remained, becoming an unusual object. It seems they've left it there, since demolition would be too costly. The train you see on the right used to run on the Asa Coast Railway before it was converted to DMV. While it's no longer in service, it's being preserved as a memorial. Let's walk back to Awakainan Station we visited earlier and watch the conversion from rail mode to bus mode. When switching to bus mode with regular tires, the driver doesn't need to check for precise alignment since small deviations aren't an issue. Now let's board the DMV again and head to Muroto. From there, you can reach Kochi by connecting with buses and trains. This is a recommended travel route from Tokushima to Kochi, offering beautiful ocean views along the way. Just keep in mind that DMV services are limited. There are only 8 runs on weekdays and 11 on holidays. And there's only 1 DMV service to Muroto City on holidays, so be sure to check the departure time carefully. While riding on the DMV, let me explain why this unique vehicle was created. As we saw earlier with the old Asa Coast Railway cars, this line used to be a regular railway line. It was originally planned in 1922 as a railway line connecting Tokushima and Kochi prefectures. However, due to the war and other factors, construction was delayed for many years. Construction finally began in 1965. In 1973, a section of the line opened as part of Japanese National Railways. That's the Mugi line we rode early this morning. However, at that time, Japanese National Railways was facing massive deficits, and soon after, railway construction projects across Japan were halted. Subsequently, the railway construction was taken over by local prefectural governments, and in 1992, the Asa Coast Railway was established. The Asa Coast Railway is a tiny railroad company, only 8.5 kilometers long, with no major cities along its line. The company has been operating at an annual deficit of tens of millions of yen, with operating expenses more than 9 times its revenue. In 2011, it recorded the worst operating ratio among all railway companies in Japan. Since the 21st century, Japan's rural railway systems have been in decline. As more people move to urban centers like Tokyo, passenger numbers have dropped significantly. The COVID-19 pandemic has also forced many local rail lines to shut down. The Asa Coast Railway could have met the same fate of closure. That's why they decided to introduce the DMV system. Being able to run on both roads and rails means it can pick up passengers from hospitals and schools that are far from stations. Operating costs are lower than regular trains, too. Since these vehicles are modified buses, they're cheaper than railway cars and weigh much less, using only 1/5 the fuel. The lighter weight also means less stress on the rail infrastructure, which reduces maintenance costs. So what are the disadvantages of the DMV? First, it has limited passenger capacity. While a regular train car can accommodate over 100 passengers, this bus can only carry up to 20 people. It also requires specialized railway safety equipment. Due to Japanese regulations, DMVs and regular trains cannot share the same tracks. Earlier, I mentioned that DMV vehicles were cost-effective, but considering their lifespan, they might not be so economical after all. Railway cars can be used for several decades, and there's a large market for used trains. Local railways in Japan typically operate with second-hand train cars purchased from Tokyo and other major cities. But what about DMVs? Being essentially buses, they don't last as long as train cars. And since they're only used here and nowhere else in the world, new vehicles must be manufactured from scratch. What does the future hold for the DMV? Vehicles that can run on both roads and railways have been researched worldwide. This technology has been studied in Europe for many years, and in Japan, research was conducted in places like Hokkaido, leading to the development of this DMV. However, the Asa Coast Railway is currently the only place in the world where this system is in operation. This shows just how challenging it is to implement such technology. As the world's only one of its kind, why not give it a try when you visit Japan? Thank you for watching. Let's meet again somewhere. Please subscribe, like, and feel free to leave any questions about Japan in the comments.